俺带了，小炒都带了，
准备好了。
小炒都带了，我发，你先推出去吧，我要发一个
朋友圈
有那个什么吗？今天有那个
要链接吗？
不是有那个promotion 的照片吗？
图片是吗？
图片我们有吗？
在 Lexi 呢，姐，你给老板发一下那个 flyer。
你有没有那个 flyer？
不在大群里呀。
哦，在大群里。好嘞。
那这边已经推出去了，你这边
好嘞，
你点开了。
好嘞，
好了，
可以了。
你的麦克风
有
check
有稍微美颜一下吗？
有。
好，
给你磨了个小皮。
对，磨个小皮就好。这个麦克风有用吗？哦，是吧？你有连吗？啊，声音是是啊。你有连上去是吧？
有的啊，那个没有，那个没有连，是两个电脑是他连。
哦 ，OK， 好。All right, real quick. Hello, today is the 9th of April. So, first week of April. It's it's gonna be very busy this week, but I'm gonna share something special today regarding for the side effect after the NAR settlement. A lot of our real estate agent probably just aware of the NAR settlement, which is gonna impact our real estate industry in the next few months, probably years as well. So, what I have learned from my connected resources. And also, I was reading a lot of articles recently. And I figured out there's one opportunity for real estate agent if you consider still continue your career in real estate after this July. July is going to be the time frame that NAR is going to execute the settlement to all 1.5 million agents, which will directly change our industry. In the mid of July, NAR give the schedule that all of the NAR members they will stop using, offering the commission to the buyer's agent. So our industry is going to be changed. But I'm going to share with something that you probably rare to hear. Again, pay attention. So I'm gonna do that in the next 30-40 minutes. Okay, so first thing first, real estate industry is changing. Commission is reforming. As a real estate agent over the past 17 years, I know, seller is the key to all the inventory because if we don't have any inventory, if we don't have any real estate houses for sale, there's no business. So the key is quite simple. If you want to survive in this industry, try to be the listing agent. A lot of people tell you want to be the listing agent because listing agent control the inventory. Listing agent controls the inventory. Without the listing agent, the property will not be listed. So regardless how many buyers you guys have, the best thing is just go to the seller, knock on the door, cold call, or farming, whatever you're doing, try to get business from the seller. Now, here comes the problem. How to get a listing? It's extremely difficult to some of the agents. To the seasoned agents, if you are listing agent already, I think it's probably going to be easier for you because you've been doing this for years. You probably have more experience and expertise to engage more business. To me, the most important thing is what is the success rate if we can be the listing agent. So, number one, real estate reforming, real estate market is changing because NAR just made a settlement with the seller. So I suggest number one, become the employer instead of an employee. Who is the employer in the real estate industry? The listing agent. Who is the employee? The buyer's agent, which we usually professionally call the selling agent. I want to be the listing agent. I don't want to be the selling agent. Why? Because, the time frame wise, I think a lot of people probably don't know. I was reading an article, very interested. Average, I think the lady is in New York, very professional. Spending a lot of time on the listings. She was talking about the average time spending on every listing. For the listing agent is about, I think, 38 hours. 38 hours average listing agent. But for the selling agent, it's going to be more than that, more than 50 hours. Why? Because you're going to spend a lot of time to look at the properties. And listing agent, they only have one property for sale. Anyway, welcome to the new friends. Thanks for stopping by my channel. This is Calvin. I'm a real estate broker in California and try to share some interesting ideas about real estate industry. Yeah. Welcome CZ, welcome AMMOO, and user, I cannot see your headshot. So number one, my suggestion, 10 reasons to shift yourself to sellers, how to become a listing agent. The first reason is, of course, I want to become an employer. I don't want to be an employee because the listing agent is the employer. They control the inventory. That is the key. Yeah. So the number two reason I want to become the listing agent is because great recognition in the market. Why? Because you have a sign. Look at it. If you're a buy agent and you can carry a sign driving with you. So the most important thing is to make sure um, you have a sign if you have a listing. So you can put on the street, you can put the sign up on the property so that people will recognize you. Some of the agents they're using their photos on the sign. So then people recognize, well, this is John Smith, right? And he's from Core Banker or Remax or Pinnacle, right? And then nice photos over there. If you have two listings, you have the photos on the street every day, every day. So it's a great exposure and great recognition. So if you want people to recognize you, I once was driving in a Temecula. Yeah, very surprised. I look at the open house sign, not even listing sign. Listing sign, most likely you just have one sign, right? Open house sign. They put on like a 10, 20 signs on the street. I'm not sure anyone have seen a open house in Temecula, Eastvale. Some of the real estate agents there, I think I have to say they are really genius. Yeah. So they put a 10, 20 signs on the on the street and people recognize, wow, must be a very famous agent. In fact, that's not a famous agent. That's a new agent. Yeah, he just started. I mean, the only thing is he ordered many open house signs and he put on the street. So potential sellers, when they have seen the signs, so they call them. They call the agent. They thought that agent is very experienced and try to help them sell their home, which is great. So, listing agent, you have the great opportunity to showcase your name, right? Your phone number, your exposure, your photo, so people recognize you. Think about this: if I'm having a lot of listings in my city, right? I own the block, couple streets, have few listings, and if I go on any next um, prospect sellers. If I go on to the appointments, I show up myself. And most of the seller, if they know me from the listing sign, they will recognize, oh, you are Calvin. Yeah, of course, I'm Calvin. Yeah. We saw your sign on the other street. Yes, of course, I own this area. So you can tell people this. So this is the key for the listing agent to market yourself. It's 2024. This is not 1994. You have to buy TV advertisement, right? You have to buy newspaper advertisement. No, you don't. Well, if you have time like me, you have the willingness, you can do social media, right? But how many people is going to be on your social media channel? That is the key. So unless you really have a lot of followers, so then when you do a podcast, you probably have thousands of people, and then you showcase your listings. You probably have potential buyers and will come up to your listing. That's another thing. So again, I want to be the listing agent. Number one reason is because I want to become the employer. I don't want to be the employee because the listing agent is the employer. Number two, I want to have the great recognition. I want to have my name on the street, my name being recognized by the community, by the potential sellers. So that is the key. And number three, of course, credibility. You see the seller see you prospecting, farming, and your listing in the neighborhood. You definitely will have a much better credibility than the people just walk into the community like a buyer's agent. So usually the listing agent gets more credit than the the buyer agent. So I would say if you really think about how I'm gonna change my work flow, that after July, the NAR settlement, most of the agents they have to, especially the buyer agent, they have to negotiate the commission with the buyers, with their clients, which they never have done this before. Yeah, buyer agent never negotiate a commission with the buyer before. So how they gonna do it? Then I give some suggestions to the agents. Why don't you think about being a listing agent? Yeah, and I receive a lot of feedbacks. The agent keep telling me it's very difficult to become a listing agent. And some agents asking me why not working with a buy agent? But today I'm going to share with you the beauty, the characteristics about why we want to become a listing agent. Before, think about this. If you are a listing agent and you want to negotiate commission with the seller, how much are you going to ask, right? 5%, nationwide, average 5%. Some agents are asking for 6%. But think about this now. Why I put today's slogan is, great opportunity after the NAR settlement, because I no longer have to negotiate the buyer's commission with the seller. Do you guys get that? I don't have to be liable for the buyer's commission. Why should I? Yeah, old days, think about this. I'm only charging 2.5%. Then I can just tell the seller, I'm going to charge you 2.5%. Why should I fight for my buyer's commission, additional 2.5%, and tell the seller, I'm going to charge you 5% because the 2.5 is going to pay to the buyer's agent? But buyer agent, you should supposed to do your work. Why should I negotiate for you? So that's why the whole lawsuit starting from there. I would say, wow, you know what? Tomorrow, if I'm going to be a listing agent, I just directly negotiate with the seller and tell them exactly what I want to share with you. 2.5% commission. Are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding. 2.5% commission. For both? What do you mean both? Listing and selling? No, just for the listing. What about selling? What about buyer agent commission? You don't have to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it. Yeah, let the buyer pay for his client, which is the buyer's agent. A lot of people have the fear in front of a NAR, but I don't really think it's a fear or it's a threat. I think it's opportunity. It's opportunity because starting from there, a lot of agent, if you don't know how to negotiate with your client, you know what? You're gonna out of business. Yeah, NAR estimate at least 1/4 or more than 30% of the active real estate agent, they're gonna exit from our industry. So, and I think it's great. Why? Less competition. Unqualified agent, they're not supposed to, to work in this industry. Let the professional agent handle the professional work. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Tony. Yeah. So again, this is Calvin from Pinnacle Real Estate Group in Arcadia. I am sharing with you how to survive under the commission storm. That NAR made a settlement with the class action or the plaintiffs that they're gonna pay or compensate the entire group at I think it's $418 million. $418 million. And I heard the latest news is Remax paid about $50 million. Core Banker, Anywhere Group, they paid the most at $80 million. And Keller Williams was paying $50 million. The latest news, what I have read, is the Real Brokerage, they paid $9.6 million to settle the lawsuit. So a lot of consumers, they still have no idea. I got false statements all the time. People asking, oh gosh, so in a settlement, the buyer no longer have to pay commission. No, you have to. Yeah, because you need to hire an agent. Old days, the seller was paying your commission. Yeah, you didn't hear me wrong. In the old days, the seller is paying your buyer agent's commission, but now you got to pay for it. So starting from mid of July, the buyer needs to pay buyer agent's commission. And I'm saying today is a great opportunity for listing agent. Why? Because then I negotiate the commission with the seller. I don't have to take care of the buyer portion, the buyer agent's portion. I only have to take care of my portion only, which make my job a lot easier. I just make 2.5%. Yeah, if I'm going to take a listing, which next week I'm going to do a listing role play in Irvine, in our Irvine office. I'm going to do a listing role play. So I'm going to demonstrate you how to earn 2.5% commission, I consider as a full commission, from the seller. And we don't pay the buyer's agent commission. Let the buyer pay for his own agent's commission. So the the beauty of being the listing agent, number one, of course, I want to become the employer. I don't want to be the employee because listing agent is the employer and the buyer agent is the employee. And number two, of course, I want to have great recognition in the market because I want people see my sign on the street. You see how many agents they have listings in our city. We have a different variety of agents from Asia, from Middle East, from Europe. Of course, we have domestic local agents as well. And if one agent they have a couple listings, you know what? They have the best exposure. Yeah, some agents like top one agent in the city of Arcadia, Mr. A. I just put the letter A, Mr. A. He owns probably the whole city. Why? He sold the most listings in our city. And if you oftentimes see his listing sign over here, there, and there, and you recognize this is a professional agent. If you ever think about sell property, although you read some newspaper, YouTube, or some commercials, advertisement, you recognize this is a good agent. This is most popular agent. But guess what? The most important thing is you've seen his sign on the street. So then you figured out this must be a very busy agent. In fact, he is. He's number one agent in the city. And that's why he has better chance to take a listing instead of you. So I want to be the listing agent. Number three is credibility. Listing agent has more credit. And number four, referral business. Yeah, of course. Who else gets the referral? The listing agent gets a lot of referral. Why? Well, because you have a listing. You prove yourself to be a professional agent over most of the other buyer's agent. Buyer's agent, they have to run on the street, sweating themselves in order to earn some business. But you sitting inside your listing and waiting the prospect come to you. So that's an entirely different story. And I want to be the job is I want wait there in a listing waiting for the buyer, not running myself on the street and chasing after the buyers for business. No, I don't want that type of life. So number five, it's easier to anticipate the future income. If you have a listing, it's going to be, of course, easier for you to make your business because today, under today's market, it's still seller's market. Yeah, nationwide, we have over a million homes, over 1 million homes short. So if I'm an agent and I want to work on my career for long term, I think the first thing is I want to learn the skill. What kind of skill? Listing agent skill. That's what I want to learn. So again, we're talking about listing agent. We're talking about how to become a listing agent, but why we want to be a listing agent. Number five, because we want to make sure we can easily anticipate our income. Being a listing agent, you pretty much said the property will be sold unless it's extremely overpriced. Otherwise, in California, if it's a fair market value, you probably have a lot of chance. Yeah, because it's still seller's market. So if you own a property, own a listing, you will sell for sure. The only difference is about the matter of time. Yeah, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 1 day, it could be 3 months. Even the average right now is under 10 days. I think 10 to 12 days right now for a property on the Southern California real estate market until it's successfully sold. So it takes about a couple of weeks, longest to be probably 1 to 2 months. Yeah. So another thing is I want to introduce you another rule. It's called 2 transactions for every listing. So if you're a listing agent, you really have to tell yourself, number one is you want to generate more leads, more clients, more listings from your listing. So old days, if we have a listing, we just do the open house. You know what? We get some buyers, we follow up. Otherwise, we just easy to forget. And next week we do it again. Next week we do it again. So sounds like we are very busy, but in fact, we don't have too much results. So the two transactions for one listing, meaning you have to generate at least two transactions, regardless it's a buyer or seller, from one listing. And that's why a listing agent get control the inventory. The listing agent decides the game rules. So that is very important. Number 6, two transactions for one listing. So I hope you guys can generate more listings, more leads from one listing. Don't waste your listing because the listing is precious. If you successfully persuaded a seller to hand over the exclusive rights, let you help them sell the listings, I think you should do your best to generate more leads, regardless it's an open house, regardless it's a broker open, or it's some of online advertisement. You should do it, yeah, until you generate more leads. Okay, so number 7, better stats and reviews for marketing, because if you have a listing, you absolutely will demonstrate an image or an impression to the prospects that you are an experienced agent, because only experienced agent will survive, will take the listing in our industry. And everybody knows that. As a common sense, if you're working as a buyer agent, you can start right away. But if you work with a seller, you're working with a listing, you should start 2 years later. Averagely in this country, nationwide, new agent become an experienced agent is about 2 years. So if you have a listing, you try to advertise the listing, you are the listing agent. And listing agent right now is still very difficult to earn the business. Why? Because it's less listings, and that is the key. So number 8, more control of your income. I'm not sure how many of you think about your annual revenue, how much you want to earn as a real estate agent. I'm not sure. We have a couple people on the internet in my channel right now. Any of you, have you thought about it? How much you want to earn as a real estate agent annually? Because nationwide, CAR predicts in this year the average commission for the agents in the U.S. is about $48,000. $48,000 only. You may have different earnings, but this is our nation's average commission earning. Number 9, a more real life, because when you working as a listing agent, your life is going to be changed as a buyer's agent, because buyer's agent, you're always waiting for the instruction from the buyer. The buyer asks you to show homes today, you gotta go. The buyer asks you tomorrow to go somewhere, you gotta go. If you don't go, they find someone else to replace you. But listing agent, after you sign the listing agreement, you know what? You're waiting there. You put the property in a nice shape. You stage the property. You get nice photographer, shoot it, the videos, the images, and you edit it, and then you put on the internet, put on CMS exchange with Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and prospects coming to your listing, coming to your open houses. This is a typical cycle for a California listing agent. But the key, what I want to share with you is if you're working as a listing agent, your return pretty much is guaranteed, unless it's a super expensive mansion that nobody can sell it. Otherwise, most of the property in California, you are able to sell, because now it's seller's market. It is seller's market. Yeah, whether you consent or not, it's seller's market. So if you have a property, it's still easy to sell. However, properties like in Beverly Hills over $10 million, probably that's a different story. Yeah, because those properties are not easy to sell, and seller needs to add some juicy incentives for the client to buyers to come up with their offer. Okay, so I explained the 9 benefits being the listing agent. Now here comes the question: is how to become a listing agent? What kind of a skill I should have? I think number one is you gotta know the contract, know the paperwork, right? This is no question. Because if you want to be a listing agent, you have to know which form you want to use, right? The exclusive listing form. And don't forget, this is California. So even seller signed the exclusive listing agreement with you. A week later, if they want to change you, if they want to terminate you, they still can. Yeah, there's nothing you can control. They still can terminate you. So some of the agents will say that's unfair. I prepared, the house very clean, and I even paid for the staging service, and now you tell me that, you know, you want to cancel the listing. Yes, seller does have the right to cancel the listing. So if you're a buyer, I want you aware of the buyer's rights. If you're a buyer, you're purchasing a property, you have so-called contingency to protect you, right? Usually, typical, if you have a mortgage, you have a loan, you need the buyer needs to apply for a loan. The buyer usually needs 21 days to remove all contingencies. All contingency meaning if you cancel, you can cancel, but you cannot take back your deposit. You cannot, because that's breaching the law. Thank you, Aaron, and thank you for the people joining my channel. Again, this is Calvin. I am working with you today to share with you what you can do under the real estate commission reforming status right now. So real estate is not easy for everyone. Real estate sometimes is easy for people who can break through their mindset, who can learn and grow. And that is critical because a lot of people know that how to make money, but they don't know how to make money in real estate. And I have been in real estate for 17 years. I see a lot of people how they make real estate, how they make money. It's not that difficult. Yeah, it's not that difficult because as long as you follow the right track, follow the right leader, using the right method, meeting the right people, write the right contract, real estate will take off. Yeah, real estate will take off. The only thing is your business didn't take off is because you're too lazy. Yeah, maybe you stay at home. Maybe you never come to the company for the training because our training is gonna really help you out how to make a successful real estate business. Anyway, today I don't want to spend too much time. I just want to maintain my account. I have been doing social media ever since last year, and we have a little fans, little followers to accumulate. But in the near future, I want to discuss with all of you that if you have any thoughts, any questions, any concern about real estate, about economy, about how we work as a consumer, you know what? Feel free to say it in the TV channel. I mean, in the TikTok channel, and also make sure you can private message me as well. I will try my best to answer your questions because I truly believe there's no secret weapon in real estate for everyone. Yeah, anyone you think they're doing very well in the real estate, they must have some moments working very hard in the midnight. They don't even have their weekend. They work very hard in the midnight in order to earn the business. Okay. Well, very good. Anyone has any questions, feel free to put on the screen and I will try to help you out. Again, today is my Tuesday's TikTok session. Tomorrow, I don't know. I have to wait for my team until they tell me tomorrow I can do the live show in the shooting scene. So other than that, I'm going to probably end today's session. I know time is about 30 minutes, and I try to commit it to every week so that you guys will see me every week. We have more activities coming, so pay attention to follow my account, and I will share with you a lot more valuable and interesting real estate news so that not only will help you to grow your real estate skill, but also help you to make more money eventually. Anyway, anyone has questions, let me know. Otherwise, I wanna finish here because I still have another appointment to go. But just want to make sure we're gonna finish today. Very good. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining my channel. I see you next week, next Monday, next Tuesday. Sorry, 5 to 6, unless we have a new schedule. Thank you.